Be advised, mature content ahead. This podcast is brought to you ad-free thanks to the Legion of Demons at patreon.com/NOTLP. If you like what you hear, there's much more at patreon.com/NOTLP. Join the Legion. That's patreon.com/NOTLP. And now the show.
How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Oh my goodness, we have Louis Fowler on the horn.
Oh my goodness.
It's Latinx Month, people.
Hello.
And as is our annual tradition, we invite Louis Fowler to curate a month of films by Latinx creators.
Hola.
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 ¿Cómo te llamas? Biblioteca?
Donde está el baño?
Biblioteca is library.
Enchiladas?
That I don't know. Oh, did you say enchiladas?
Yeah, that just means enchiladas.
Oh, okay. No, I got that one.
There's no word for it in your language.
I'm sure there isn't a word for it in our language.
I'm from the Jalisco system
We use enchiladas.
in the Toro Nebula.
Well, you guys are just talking about going to get Mexican food after this, and now I want
Yeah.
Mexican food too.
Right?
Oh, yeah, I definitely want some Mexican food right now.
After Amy dipped all her salami in her coffee.
Did you dip salami in your coffee
No, they assumed that.
with your maple bugles?
And eat maple bugles.
Just eat like cereal.
If you want to know what we're talking about with Maple Bugles, you got to listen to Origins.
Yeah.
That's patreon.com/NOTLP. And we, Andy, did the apology tour for episode 157.
Kind of.
Kinda. But we talked about maple bugles a lot. We talked about bugles a lot.
It was a bugle heavy. It was one of our more bugle heavy episodes.
Yeah, we toyed around with changing.
I think we ought to start Bugle Cast.
I was going to say we were going to change the name to the Daily Bugle.
Oh,
And it was gonna,
yeah.
we were trying to get free bugles. That's how this all started. I remember I was like, Amy, I think I know how we can get some free bugles, and it will only require a 13-year
Be careful.
commitment and probably $100,000 when it's all said and done.
But then they sponsor us, and we got bugles coming out of our ears.
Yeah.
Bugles for days, baby.
It's like, what happened to Freddy? Oh, you didn't hear?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Too many bugles.
Bugles.
I ate them bugles, you know. Anywho,
Yeah. We can get Bugle Boy Jeans to sponsor us.
yeah.
And then we could have Bette Midler sing the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy song.
What if you did
We used to go bugle crazy.
like
Yeah.
Fat Gap, where we could have a bugle body and a bugle boy jean, and we could dance like in that commercial?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Look, you mean the commercial where the lady pulled up and said, "Are those Bugle Boy jeans?" And just,
Bugle jeans you're
then
wearing.
just drove off. You dirty bitch.
Are those maple bugle boy jeans you're wearing?
You can't make jeans out of bugles.
No, they're regular.
Well, you could, but
I just
it'd be
spilled
very
maple syrup
uncomfortable.
on them.
The minute you sit down in your
That's
butt.
how it happened.
And nobody invites you over when you wear the Bugle Boy Bugle jeans.
Because you leave like a greasy,
Yeah.
crummy film everywhere you go.
And
from
by the
sitting.
time you leave, you have no pants.
Yeah.
Like if he was really hitchhiking, that's why she didn't pick him up. Is because they were literally bugle jeans, and she didn't want that shit on her new interior.
So she was justified in just leaving him then.
She's like, "This is fabric," and then she peeled out.
Oh, I want those to be my last word someday.
This is fabric.
I mean, what a way to go out. It's kind of like the new Rosebud.
Oh my God.
It's like, what the fuck did he mean?
I don't think we'll ever know.
This is fabric.
Does he mean like the fabric of the universe, man? I don't know. What did he see? He whispered it in that French lady's ear. Now she committed suicide. Oh, I love coffee.
What a specific conversation.
Yeah. We went absurdist there for a minute.
It
Yeah.
got strange.
It all makes sense though if you know.
In context.
Yeah.
And if you know, you know.
We speak in coded languages around here.
Yeah.
So we're kicking things off with Machete.
Oh, it was
Louis. Yeah, what a great pick. I
Chef's
haven't
kiss.
seen this since it came out.
This is my first viewing. I was so excited to do this.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I've never seen it either.
It's been on my list for, since it came out, but there are a lot of movies on my list that I haven't seen. And so this was I was super excited for us to do this.
It really seemed like it's one of those movies that just like took every single stereotype and like amped it up to make white people pissed off about it.
Yeah.
Because if you remember the time when it came out, they had that Robert Rodriguez and Danny Trejo, that fake trailer about we got an important message that's coming to Texas on Cinco de Mayo, and they were like talking about opening the borders, and every single conservative, Alex Jones, all those guys, they like launched a war against this movie because of that fake Cinco de Mayo celebration.
Oh shit! I did not remember.
So, I mean, the movie did a good job about pulling that type of those stereotypes into one superhero.
Oh yeah.
For Latinos.
Yeah, this is gonna be a great conversation. I don't think I've seen Machete Kills.
Oh really?
I don't think I have, but we watched so many movies that up here's a mess. I can't remember anything.
But Machete Kills it's way different, and we can talk about that later too.
Yeah. So and then Roulette, Andy had it because
finally watched his movie.
Poor Andy had the triple threat this week. He had to do a lot of work.
It lines up sometimes like that. It's crazy.
Well, I apologize for not doing it originally when I was supposed to 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you piece of shit.
I overslept.
Because you died.
Andy's dead.
Andy's dead.
But you watched Super Deep.
Yes, I did.
You got Super Deep and watched Super Deep.
It sounds sexy.
It's another the porno version of Super Fuzz.
Yeah. Super Fuzz.
Or Super
I
Fudge.
love Super Fuzz.
Super Fudge.
Get all up in those
Super
goods.
Super.
That's some good shit.
So that's coming up. How are we all doing?
Hot.
Good.
Louis, what's the weather like in Oklahoma right now? Because we were hanging out yesterday and it was just so moist.
We're at Devil's Armpit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was like a little over 100.
Oh, okay, you got it worse.
yeah.
Sorry.
How's your humidity?
Well, inside the house is 72 degrees.
And sunny.
It's 72
humidity-
degrees in my head all the time.
I was at the lake last night and it got kind of a little bit humid. It was pretty sweaty. It was sticky, the shirts.
Yeah.
But it was all right. I mean, it dipped down to about low 90s last night.
Oh, that's practically fall
Yeah,
weather.
it's a dry heat. Is it a dry heat in Oklahoma?
It's a weird thing. Some days it's a dry heat. Some days it's a wet heat.
It depends on what you wore.
And usually when I'm out walking the dog or running or something,
Disgusting.
usually it's a wet heat, but the wet heat always situates right between your legs.
Yeah, that's where the wet heat strikes first.
Yeah, and then you start chafing.
Yeah.
Then you gotta put Band-Aids around between your legs.
But the Band-Aids don't stick because you're wet.
Yeah, think about it.
That's a real
You
nightmare.
gotta get the water
You
kind.
gotta go first. You gotta go home. Then you gotta pat yourself dry with a towel.
Yeah.
Between your legs, just pat, not rub. Pat.
Pat, 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 pat.
Never rub.
Yeah, you don't
And
want
then
to
you gotta
tear
put some
open a.
Gold- You gotta put some Gold Bond medicated.
That's the
powder
best shit
down
on
there.
earth, man.
And then you wrap your legs with bandages. So
And then you drop yourself into an oatmeal bath.
I wish there was oatmeal back.
And
then
then
you-
you recognize that you're an old man now.
And then you eat a couple of bags of maple bagels to undo the run.
Bugles.
What did I say? Bagels?
Bagels.
I eat maple bagels too.
That sounds
They sound
that
good,
sounds
though.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a French toast bagel.
I love a
Shit.
French toast.
I don't like a
I love
sweet
a French
bagel.
toast.
French toast
bagel.
bagels are
The
awesome.
cinnamon crunch bagels from
I'm
Panera?
with Amy. I do not like sweet bagels
I'm
at
not
all.
a sweet bagel person.
Sweet bagels.
It's my favorite exclamation.
I want to go out on that and instead.
I keep looking for new exclamations.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's one of my I'm enthused about in life right now. When someone says something, I always ask myself, could that be the next exclamation?
It could be sweet bagels.
It's
counts.
a good one.
Sweet
It's a good
bagels.
one.
Yeah.
But it's like for exclamation, you usually need 3 words. So sweet
Yeah.
bagels, people go, sweet jumping bagels.
There you
Let's
go.
go. Or sweet maple bugles.
I'm gonna need to know. Kelly, you're right. I gotta know.
Like they're a limited edition item.
I'm gonna have to see if I can buy some.
Like a fall or winter item.
Yeah, they might be actually, because I had it at a family holiday Christmas stupid thing.
Family barbecue.
Oh, fucking stupid, fucking bullshit.
Oh yeah.
I used to love those limited edition foods, but I had to stop doing it because there got to be too many of them.
Yeah.
I think the last limited edition food I had was Lady Gaga Oreos.
How were they?
They were fine. It was like eating out Lady Gaga, but
Andy, you had those, right?
Yes, I did. That's the only reason I go to grocery stores anymore, because so I can check out the new items.
What happens when Gwyneth Paltrow makes an Oreo? What's that going to be?
No one's gonna know.
Mystery smell.
I bet it's very dry.
A dry Oreo.
Yeah. Even the filling is crumbly.
Well, they don't even cook the Lady Gaga ones.
I don't know if I should share this information because this will take us off the rails
raw,
further. But they have a caramel and churro flavor.
Caramel might be the ones I'm thinking of.
That
actually.
sounds.
Yeah.
And they taste like maple.
Churro makes sense.
What a
caramel and
mindfuck.
churro. Yeah, that makes sense.
Churro, I would probably go to town on because I love a churro.
Caramel is what I was thinking of. Sorry,
To
everyone.
be fair, though, Mexican man call our
Caramel.
penis a churro.
Caramel. But it tastes like that. It reminds me of maple.
Yeah.
But it's caramel.
Caramel, baby.
So our conversation about maple bugles is
It's all a lie.
it doesn't mean anything anymore.
It doesn't mean a damn thing, but it does, because just change it to caramel.
Caramel.
It's like you enter the Mobius strip of bugles.
If you like maple bugles, you're gonna love my new maple papadilla.
But it's not good. I tried the papadilla. It's not good.
Well,
You know what's really nasty was those maple Oreos. Do you ever have those?
No.
What kind of cookie?
It was like it was like a
maple cookie.
an Oreo.
Was it a chocolate cookie? Is what I mean.
No, it was vanilla.
Vanilla cookie, maple
It
flavor.
had maple inside the cream.
Yeah, because chocolate would be terrible with
What,
maple.
what do you think they'll Canadians have computer towers like where it says Intel inside? They have little stickers that say maple inside because they're real proud. They're like, hey, look how Canadian I am. Look at this. My computer runs on maple.
I think the computer runs on beavers.
No, that's what they get with a computer. He's
Running
on a
around,
beaver hunt.
they're like one of those water wheels.
You got to keep those beavers entertained, though. Once they get unhappy, they turn on you, and then you're on Iowa's prey.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm waiting for it.
For a beaver attack, it's probably coming.
There have been raccoons.
A beaver has that big tail, that intense
and
tail.
those big teeth.
Yeah.
Okay, like
Anything in the wild can kill you.
So Iowa's prey was the show Kelley turned us on to.
Is that the guy that has the Wildonger?
That's where Will Donger was
That's
on.
Fatal Attraction.
That's Fatal Attractions.
Fatal Attractions is the one that these are Discovery Plus shows about animals.
Kelly's been talking about
killing
him forever.
people.
If you want a very in-depth discussion on Kelly's animal mayhem love in the shows, there was a new High Five Happy Hour.
It was a good one. Bill
That's
came on.
Yeah, our friend Bill Chandler came on, and we talked about all the things that we're happy about. So if you're a patron, you have access to
Yeah, and
that.
High Five Happy Hour has a long history. It's like 20 years old, but there are 5 or 6
Maybe
episodes.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
So their show is older than our podcast?
We're like
show
a,
is-
from the
it's
old
a
time
super show. You know,
Yeah.
you only get together every so often, or it's not special.
Right.
Yeah.
But we talk about the animal mayhem shows
Yeah.
that Kelly loves.
It's like the
Fatal
Travis
Oh, Lewis froze.
Wilburys of podcasting.
yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you were saying
What?
I interrupted to talk about High Five Happy Hour to explain the shows you were talking about,
Yeah.
and then you were talking about a beaver killing somebody.
Oh, well, I'm saying it's inevitable. Like
Yeah.
we've been watching AFV Animal Edition, which is just those shows like when the shit didn't hit the fan.
Right.
It's like everything
or
that
it
leads
cuts
up.
out before.
Yeah.
Right.
So like
before the bloodshed.
it's the funny parts.
Yeah.
And one of them was somebody being chased by a beaver.
Yeah.
And we were like, ha ha ha. Oh, really?
Well, so now we know that that there's a precedent. So certainly there's got to be one
Yeah.
in the group.
I'm going to Google beaver deaths.
The way Amy pronounced animal
But it might
mayhem.
come up some other results.
Amy said animal mayhem earlier, but it sounded like she said animal ma'am.
Animal ma'am.
And I was like, what a great comic book idea.
Animal ma'am.
It's just a lunch lady who is also like an animal man.
It says
Animal ma'am.
It says only
That's the stupidest thing.
at least one
It
beaver
is.
attack on a human is known to have been fatal. So, in all of human history,
Beavers have killed a person,
is
Yeah.
just one.
but that's one. Beavers took down a human being.
One beaver.
One beaver.
Unless was there multiple beavers involved? Do we
It
know?
says a 60-year-old fisherman in Belarus. So I feel 60-year-old.
I feel really
Belarusian
bad
fishermen
because they arrested this
are not as
adorable.
hardy.
They arrested this adorable river otter, and he was accused of that crime and actually spent 10 years in
Oh,
prison before
cute.
they knew it was the beaver.
I bet it was a cute arrest though. Put the little
Yeah, it was
handcuffs on his little
adorable.
paws.
Yeah. And when he was in prison, like, you know how they take like nuts and they bang them or they bang rocks on food? Like, you should have
Does he
seen.
bang him against the cell door?
No, man, it got nasty in the yard. Like that little river otter, there was a bunny rabbit that ran the yard, and he had to take.
Imagine a row of like cuddly animals on the chain gang with little pickaxe.
That is so. But the crimes they went to prison for are awful though.
They're really horrendous crimes,
Yeah.
and then like that little
There's
river
like a
otter
bunny
gets that
accused of child
rock.
molestation.
Yeah.
That's exactly that way. You don't feel bad when the
It's all
river otter.
heinous sex crimes.
Yeah, when he bludgeons the bunny to death with the stones, you're like, it's okay. That bunny was a pedophile.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dear
what
God.
a cute little pedophile.
And then
there.
a turtle walks over and just shanks him slowly.
You gotta do the quick
The
stabs.
turtle kind.
Yeah, oh, but he's the turtle. The turtle
You're like,
does it
Boom, boom.
instead of the quick lightning fast.
that.
I'll tell you, if
Do they have the old timey striped uniforms or the orange jumpsuits?
Oh,
What's cuter?
Stripes.
Let's not be ridiculous. It's modern day, so it's orange.
Yeah, Andy.
That's just ridiculous, Andy.
I like
I'm
stripes.
sorry, I went a bridge too far.
for
so.
some reason it's Arizona. I don't know why.
So on the chain gang, is it all the animals? Are they proportionate size, or is it an elephant chained to like a mouse too?
Oh yeah, they're cellmates.
I hope not.
It's Noah's Ark rules. Everybody's just thrown together.
They're married. They're prison married. The elephant and the mouse.
Aw, that's so cute.
Isn't that adorable?
Surprisingly, the
Oddly
mouse
enough,
is
it's
the
the
top.
elephant that's the bitch.
Which one? The elephant
yeah.
is? Yeah.
Yeah.
The elephant is
You
definitely.
have the mouse.
Well,
behind
according
him
to
pounding
cartoons,
the
yeah.
elephant.
So the elephant has a cute bow and it takes better care of itself.
Oh, it's like a prison version of like an animal version of Oz.
You know, we're onto something here.
Are we?
I don't know. Possibly.
We're definitely on a way to 15-minute Adult Swim pitch.
Yeah.
At least, at minimum.
We're definitely on a government list.
It's like Oz, but with animals.
That's what
your
Andy
pitch.
said.
Yeah. Andy, that's the pitch. You nailed it.
Done and done.
That's all.
You know what? I forgot Oz existed. I thought you meant like Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
It's like instead of like a scarecrow,
It did
and a
have
Tin
M
Man,
City.
Yeah, man. Animals, crazy.
Crazy.
That's what
But
happened today.
thanks for bringing the animal attacks videos into our lives.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's great.
They're
yeah,
like little horror stories. They're little nature run amok movies
Yeah.
that really happened.
Well, Fatal Attractions was our first.
Right.
Is that animal attack shows too?
Fatal Attractions.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
it's about people whose pets kill them.
It's about crazy people who
Hoarding or
But just
having things they shouldn't.
The name implies like romantic.
Yeah.
things.
Well, they're obsessed.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
when I hear failed attraction, I think like it's an animal raping a human being.
Right.
Well, that probably will happen at some
Has that
point.
happened yet, Kelly?
Not that I've seen.
Yeah.
They don't
Okay.
publicize those as much. I
So all
imagine.
these shows, what is the animal that you least expect to attack? Like it's a surprising animal attack.
The giraffe one was surprising.
I would say.
And
I expect a giraffe to do something.
You know,
That's-
the raccoon one was surprising.
I haven't seen enough of them to say, but the one we watched, the very first one, was these lizards, and I almost
Yeah.
feel like,
Did you notice how many episodes that were filmed here in Cincinnati?
yeah,
A lot.
A
it's
lot.
weird. Yeah, I don't know why.
A lot of people have been killed by their reptiles in this town.
It's so weird that they actually bother coming all the way here to film the reenactment, though.
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, it must. So it makes me think
Somebody
it's-
must
the
have a
first
connection
it
or
must be
something.
based here somehow.
There must
Yeah.
be.
Do you get to see local landmarks? or
Yeah, so
anything?
the first episode
Yeah.
has a story that takes place in North College Hill, which, if you know, Cincinnati is very close to where
Yeah.
we are right now. I'm in North College Hill all the time. And so a lady had stuff that killed her.
Snakes. She was bitten by a viper, but and it's in the Cincinnati Zoo now.
Yep. Her collection.
The viper is?
Yeah, her whole collection, actually. All the surviving reptiles, I think.
Did she give them away or did they take them away?
Well, she
was
died.
So, Taken?
Taken. I'm going to go with Taken.
They were rehomed.
Yeah.
But there was this neighbor named, was it Jeff Wildonger?
Jeff Wildonger.
And Wildonger... A lot of the story of the guy whose lizards ate him is told from Wildonger's perspective.
Yeah.
Was he a dean in the 80s?
Yeah. It's so great. But first I'm just kind of, obviously laughing at this poor guy's last name, Wildonger, because it's funny. But then I started thinking of what if he's the common connection between all of these animal attack stories? Like somehow he's like Jessica Fletcher.
Right.
And he just happens to be at every one of
keeps
these.
Coming up.
Yeah, he's like, I was at the park and this lady's chimp tore her face off. And I thought I'd gotten away from this shit when I moved out of that lizard apartment.
Lizard apartment.
Wouldn't that be fun? A fun series?
It would be. What a horrible life that person would lead, though.
Yeah.
They couldn't leave, and you could go a lot of different ways with it.
Yeah. Or he would just be like, here we go again. He keeps having to move.
Yeah.
He hates animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho, that guy's lizards ate him. And I don't, it's,
What kind of lizards?
they were
Monitors.
monitor
Nile
lizards.
Oh, I
monitors.
thought you meant like the little ones you see in Florida.
No.
The
The big ones you see in Florida.
Little tiny lizards. I mean, when you say big, huge monitor lizards, I mean, as expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little tiny lizards, that would have been more impressive.
It would be.
That'd be adorable,
You
though.
need 100,000 of them.
It's hard to
kill
have
you.
a lot of sympathy for these people.
This guy, though, yeah, he fucked himself because he kept refusing treatment every time he'd get bitten, and eventually the infections is what killed him.
These
Because
people.
they're venomous, aren't like they have those?
Well, they have a lot of bacteria.
It's bacteria,
yeah. And then they ate it. They did this on
They did
purpose.
eat
This
him.
is exactly what they do in the wild.
He's
They
pointing-
bite something,
he's
wait
pointing
for it
at
to
Millie.
die,
He's pointing at Millie.
and then eat.
Millie, do you do that?
Asleep.
She's totally not.
This creature.
That's devious.
Yeah.
So the guy did not take any coagulants or whatever for.
He wouldn't even.
He went to work.
He wouldn't get antibiotics. He'd be sweating and stuff.
Hey.
It's just like a guy you know is
Personal
always
rights,
sweating.
man. Personal rights. Don't tell me. Don't tell me to get antibiotics. How dare you?
The lizard vaccine.
The lizard vaccine.
I got
I'd
my
take
first
a lizard
one.
vaccine.
They only ate half of me. I had my first one.
Instead of lizard vaccine, I use that horse medicine.
Yes. The dewormer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let the government track me.
That's right.
Hey, there's a part of me that really does want to try that horse vaccine though, just to write about.
See how you're doing?
because my mom, raises horses and everything, so I kind of want to go there and just I know where they are. I know how to get them. Just go get one, just try it, see what it's like.
That's so cool that she works with horses. I love horses.
They don't like you.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm fat.
I'm so worried. I'm so worried that there's gonna be a shortage of the medicine for horses now. They actually have worms.
Well, I think they are preventing people from. Like some retailers are trying to not let people be dumb.
It happened with their shampoo too. We are always appropriating horse culture.
I've used mane and tail. I've been known to.
We're saying there, Amy, that you're saying that the medicine works.
Works great. Makes you blind for a few days, but I think it goes away.
Who needs to see just every day of the week? I want to go to a hybrid model where I'm blind half the time.
Like
Right now you got that one anti-vaxxer listener that's just fuming and making jokes about this.
Do you think they've lasted this long?
no.
I can't
I
imagine.
like horror movies, but I hate their liberal stance on it.
I mean, if they stuck around this long when we wish death upon certain people,
That's true.
and they're still listening, then
Though I can see the Apple podcast review now that says like I was a fan until they started making fun of me for eating horse pills.
I will say, just to underscore and to make certain that we have said this, please, God, get your vaccine. Go get your COVID vaccine.
Yeah, for Christ's
there is
sake.
no reason to wait. I got vaccinated months ago and I'm fine.
And if we're the reason that you're going to get your vaccine, you've waited too long.
Exactly, but
If you're like,
tell
oh, my
me I
favorite
am,
podcast
so I
just
feel
told me to
good.
go get vaccinated, that's going to be the
But-
one thing.
But if you're a conservative asshole, don't get your vaccine.
Yeah.
But then they'll spread it to
Yeah,
us.
if you're a big dick, maybe just like don't, so then we can get rid of your line.
Exactly.
your DNA.
There's that.
Take that out of commission. But I mean, like, seriously, if you haven't done it for whatever reason, I just had a conversation with somebody else today who's just being lazy about it. Not anti-vax, lazy.
A lot of people
Go
are doing that.
Fucking get it. You can go to the CVS and they'll give it to you right there.
Yeah.
Boom.
For free.
For free.
It's for free.
I just don't understand why people aren't scared of getting it. Because
know.
the whole myth of only old people get it, and like everyone just sort of ignores the whole like long-term lasting effects, even if you're asymptomatic sometimes.
I have a friend at work who she had COVID. She still can't smell. And it was during like near the beginning of everything. So if you want to lose your taste and smell for a year and not know what your favorite foods taste like anymore, get COVID. And maybe that's the thing that changes your mind and gets you vaccinated.
And
I had COVID. I lost my taste. So all I wear now is like Paisley.
Paisley.
Yeah.
No, but like Paisley and stripes. And it's like, who does that?
Hey, I like mixing patterns.
Well, Andy, you might not have COVID.
But I can pull it off. Hey.
I zipped up my Looney Tunes jacket, and that's when I knew.
And
Is it the Looney Tunes?
It was the hip hop Looney Tunes.
Is it Tweety Bird with the backwards cap?
Hat off to the side.
Yeah.
And the jersey?
just
And the
remember,
Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah.
not to bring everybody down again, but like the Delta variant exists because the regular COVID got to mingle and infect lots of people.
Yeah.
And then it created more mutations.
Yeah.
So just fucking do it.
I don't know. I feel like we're preaching the choir.
I know, but sometimes I just feel the need to scream that into the void.
Yeah, I get it.
People should have been more careful when they watched that show Dinosaurs and paid more attention. It predicted all of this.
Yeah.
So did Sylvia Brown.
Yeah.
What a terrifying show.
Yeah.
So the show Sylvia Brown's Dinosaurs.
I hear a name. I think it's Fred Flintstone. Does anybody know Fred Flintstone?
It starts with an F. F. Anybody?
Something Flintstone.
I see a baby saying, "I'm the baby."
Did someone lose a baby to an ice age?
A lot of people. That's a vague.
Somebody lose a baby to an ice.
150 Neanderthals raised their hands.
Me did.
The baby says he loves you.
Are you afraid of fire? Oh, yeah.
They have a complicated relationship.
Yeah.
That was so great. Sometimes I
does
just
she
have to
still
tell
have?
Freddy. He's good.
I'm thinking of the Caputo lady though. Is that
The Long Island Medium?
Yeah, I was thinking of a caveman with her hair.
Oh, my God.
That would be amazing, though.
That is good.
I think we've got another $1 million idea.
We just keep shitting them out.
All right.
We have creative diarrhea.
That should be the
There's probably some
name.
guy in Hollywood who listens to the show. We could just try sending your ideas.
I remember
Hey,
that
Hollywood, we got you.
that run on 30 Rock where every 4 weeks something would pop
It was
up.
on SNL too.
And SNL. We'd be like, oh, that's weird. Parallel thinking.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true. We're all one big organism.
We're thieving.
We're thieving. It could be with that too.
I think we're just geniuses. So that's
Oh man, it's really cool when you buy into your own hype because I feel like it just elevates our performance.
we try harder.
Yeah,
Agreed.
because we gotta,
Yeah. Everybody loves their own scent.
Right. Friendly reminder, Horror Hound Weekend's coming up, so if you're going to be there, please come and see us. Bring your masks and stay 6 feet away from me.
I can't wait to air hug
But
you.
A lot cooler if you hang
will
out
elbow bump.
outside.
Yeah, we'll be
It would be
switching
a lot
off
cooler
and
if you did.
going outside and not being inside the whole time because I don't want to. I don't want to break
Just
through.
go to the window and just wave.
Yeah, we'll walk around in those big hamster balls.
I'm going to devise a plexiglass like hat that I can wear.
We're going to request that our table be outside.
Because let's admit it, people, a lot of our community probably did not get vaccinated.
You think?
I don't know. We have a real interesting blend of folks that come to Horror Hound, and they have all kinds of ideas.
I'm pretty sure one guy was like, there's one very large guy was like, black trench coat vaccine, black trench coat vaccine.
It was one or the other.
So go to horrorhoundweekend.com to see all the information. But if you're going to be there, we do want to elbow bump.
We should do a vaccine drive at Horror Hound.
I was about to say, they should have free vaccines there, Horror Hound.
I'll give you finger guns.
I'll drive you there. I'll put a sign up at the table that says, "I will drive you to a CVS right now to get you a vaccine if you need one."
Yeah.
And I'll
take him to auto parts junkyard and just shoot him.
Yeah. Either way, you're taking care of the problem.
Free vaccines and or candy. Get in. But then you have to share like a closed up car with somebody. What if you're like, get in my smart car and I'll zip you along? And
you know what? I'll roll the window down, wear 2 masks. I don't care.
You don't
fair, to be fair though, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys are vaxxed, so fuck them.
Fuck them.
You'd think, Louis, but we're adamant about other people getting vaccinated, not us.
If everyone else gets vaccinated, we don't have to.
Andy, you'll be eligible for the booster since you got yours earlier than everybody else.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I jumped the line.
When did you get yours?
Kidding.
He got his in February.
January, actually.
January.
It was on my birthday.
Yeah.
Now he's eligible for both the vaccine booster and the booster seat.
Yep. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
We like to put him up at the table.
Big
with
guy.
us.
He's our little big guy.
You mean I can get an actual booster seat instead of telephone books?
Yeah.
Good.
Yay.
Graduating.
The kind with the seatbelt.
Oh, speaking of seatbelts.
Hold you in.
Are we?
Well, here's a funny thing. Have you heard of this show called Blake's 7?
Nah.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's like an old you show on PBS when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's an old sci-fi show, kind of. It's
British.
kind of like
like Doctor Who.
a very low rent Battlestar, or like Doctor Who. And I had never seen it. We just started watching. We watched the first couple of episodes last night, and it was a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
But when they're transporting these characters to this prison colony on another planet, and it's an 8-month journey. And they seat them in this shuttle, and some of them are in office chairs with rolling casters. Like everything's cobbled together, but they belt them into the rolling chairs.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Wait, this is their idea of space in the future?
Well, and when they open regular doors, they make the Star Trek swoosh sound, but you see
With their mouth?
They're just opening a
You
door.
see the hinges and the doorknob. It's just a regular door, but it goes.
A lot of people forget that there's many Doctor Who fans now, but a lot of people forget that in the 70s, Doctor Who was cheap.
That's what I love. That's the Doctor Who I like.
Cheap.
Me too. I love the cheap Doctor Who.
I mean, there's Doctor Who, Blake 7, Red Dwarf.
Yeah.
I love Red Dwarf
Dwarf's
too.
amazing, but it was super cheap.
The original Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
It was all so cheap, just done. BBC just farmed them out. They were just cheap.
It's super charming though.
It's super charming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally in love with it all out of the gate.
Yeah, it's funny that a show like Star Trek, where characters are routinely like thrown out of their seats or like knocked down, that they don't have seatbelts.
Yeah, this show
on
did.
a starship. This show did. They were like, "Come on!"
And then
But they also had wheels.
If you were bad, they had restraining harnesses, which were just 2 robot arms that came out of the wall behind their seat and went around them like a hug.
Give him a little hug.
Yeah, it was. It's fun. But the thing about those shows is the performances are so strong that you forget that they're doing basically, this is somebody's office they're not using today, and it's a spaceship, but you believe it. You forget after a while, and you're into the story, and you're like, that's magic.
Yeah.
Yep.
My opinion. My humble opinion.
All right.
Well,
Let's do this.
that happened.
Let's do roulette?
Let's do roulette.
Why not?
I'm ready.
Why not? We can do that.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
We've studied outer space more than the Earth.
What happened? Where are the others?
Everything is just like in a regular shaft. But later on, you'll see what we actually created here.
human race.
That looks really good.
So, Andy, what do you got for Super Deep?
It was not super.
No.
It was not deep. It was more like okay and shallow.
Oh dear.
Oh,
just okay.
dear.
So, can I interject something here?
No. Yes, you can. Just
So, do you know the guys? Do you guys know what that story is based on?
Super Deep?
Yeah.
No, I don't know anything
Okay.
about it.
About 20 years. Do you guys know Art Bell?
Yeah.
Okay, so about 20 years ago, he played this recording of some 12,000 feet deep in Russia of these screams and howls.
Yeah.
That sound like, and so they believed it was a recording of hell. They had reached the outside of hell. That's what that's based on. That the recording with the those noises, it's the outside of hell. Is that right, Andy?
what?
Is that right?
No.
Oh.
Although I like that story.
Yeah.
It was just okay. The story is that there's this research facility that's miles and miles and miles underneath the surface of the earth.
Yeah.
And they just uncover like this bacteria that infects people.
Oh.
Okay.
So it's not. I mean, I like that idea of accidentally drilling a hole to hell better than this.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's
All
very The Thing meets Chernobyl or something.
Do you think it started as an inspiration from that idea from the Art Bell show and then got kind of trimmed down to whatever?
Yeah, because those were the same sounds that you Google Art Bell, hell, whatever.
Art Bell hell.
Oh, it rhymes.
Art Bell could be in hell. He is dead. I doubt it.
They play the clip of it. It sounds just like that.
That's eerie as shit.
And it's like 12,000 feet down, a shaft in Russia.
Do you want to try to find that sound?
Yeah, I can do that while you guys are.
This is
talking
more
about it.
like straight up sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay.
like supernaturally ish. First of all, I have to say this movie fucked with my mind because it was in Russian. It's a Russian movie, but they dubbed it into English. The actors are speaking, but the dialogue matched up with the mouth movement so well.
Yeah.
Oh.
That I didn't think it was dubbed.
That's a good dub.
But I
Sometimes
was
that
like,
happens.
but I was thinking, why they're Russian, but they have American accents, and I thought it was just a weird choice. But then I realized, hey, wait, I'm a dummy, and I realized that it was a dub. So I spent most of the movie trying to figure out if it was a dub or not.
So you didn't really watch it.
I watched it, but I was distracted
Why don't you just go
by.
right to the credits and see who dubs?
You wanted to see if they took the first dub step?
Yeah,
Dubs.
I dub, you dub,
That's
they
funny.
dub, we dub.
because I watched this on Apple TV, and sometimes there's a lag on Apple TV. So I thought that's when the words didn't match up with the mouth parts. I thought it was a lag.
You didn't understand the words that were coming out of their mouth.
You didn't even do the voice either. I'm impressed.
Chris Tucker's voice is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
That'd be great if like the lead white nerdy kind of scientist was like, you want to know what's going on in here?
Oh man, I want Chris Tucker to dub like every foreign language film.
It's cute though.
It'd be great.
Yeah, so I was distracted by that, even though it's not the movie's fault. It was me. And I always watched this at the crack of dawn because I like to get up early before the show and watch the movie, so it's fresh in my mind.
It is the movie's fault.
It is.
It's all a good movie can usually overcome your little weird things that you're feeling.
But this movie is also almost 2 hours long, so that's a strike against it already.
Whoops.
I still kind of want to watch it based on that trailer.
I just like the concept, but if it wasn't
Yeah.
executed
It's-
well, it
it's
wasn't
very,
executed well.
It's very an X-Files episode.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
motherfucker, that's my favorite.
I feel like
A 2 hour X-Files episode.
Andy and my tastes on these movies, I feel, is very different lately. Because there was another movie you really didn't like that it was the two people in the cabin telling stories to each other. Scare Me?
Oh, yeah.
Which I thought was great. And I feel like...
I feel like I'm going against the grain on that because a lot of people seem to like that movie.
Oh, okay. Because I kind of have bad taste. I'll admit that. I mean, like what people consider bad taste because it's unconventional.
You're just very forgiving.
Like I'll like some movies. I'll be like, I didn't understand why people didn't like The Dead Don't Die. Like I watched that. I loved it.
A lot of people hate that.
I know. That's my point.
Yeah.
That's why I just kind of presume. I'm like, well, maybe you have bad taste. Maybe you have COVID.
Or you just have a different... You're
just destroys your taste in movies.
Yeah.
You're differently tasted.
Yeah.
I am.
Aw.
I'm differently
great.
tasted.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to go to a regular school now, so I'm excited about that.
So that they discover that something went bad in this research facility, and of course the government wants to weaponize it and get these samples and find out and use it to their advantage,
as they always do.
Yeah. And of course, things go to hell, and most of the movie was
so they do go to hell.
Not literally.
I was just fucking with
more
you.
figuratively.
They end up in a quagmire. Would
the guy from Family Guy.
Do you think that they would they'd call this they're off the reservation? We were talking about how horrible that expression was, yet we couldn't think of a single real world application for it.
Wait, what?
We were having this discussion about like these expressions, and for some reason
we were talking about out of pocket last night.
Out of pocket turned into a conversation about all these things that like
people say, and it's like, what's the
and
origin?
They don't really know what it means.
Yeah. Like off the reservation.
So when Andy said he went to hell, I was playing the role of someone who thought he meant that literally. See?
I do see.
See?
You're the devil's advocate.
Yeah, see?
I'm playing what you call a devil's advocate here. I'm your Tucker Carlson in the room.
I'm just asking questions.
Let me just get my little bow tie on over here.
Off.
My righteous indignation is in check. I think I'm ready.
That voice was a little too spot on.
That guy's awful.
Freddy's going to take his Freddy mask off, and it's going to be...
The whole time was Tucker Carlson.
Hey, guys.
I'd be impressed if he did that.
Take it out during the middle of sex with Amy.
Yeah.
We'd all have to... she'd have to call us and tell us, and then we'd all have to applaud.
Yeah, I'd do a slow clap like, good job, Freddy.
Well done.
Long con.
Good job, Chucker.
Way to go, TC. You got us.
God.
You sexy mother, Tucker.
But the trailer, it makes it look exciting, and there are exciting parts with when the actual, like the bacteria or whatever, infects people. I like the effects that it did on the peoples.
Well, in the trailer, they show that lady's pinky just kind of bending up all on its own.
It's good body horror stuff. Very thingy.
Slim good body horror.
That was some body horror.
It was. That was freaky. That show.
I can see his organs.
We YouTubed that when me and Alise first got together. We were just hanging out, getting high or whatever. We put Slim Good Body videos on, and we were like, ugh.
That's a nightmare.
You do realize that Slim Goodbye was born with his organs on the outside of his body.
Yeah. So it's gawking at this poor man.
It's a story of triumph, so we should be making fun of him.
Ironically, the family name is Good Body.
Every 30 minutes, he's got the Vaseline his outsides up so they don't dry.
Worse than the organ bodysuit actually was the hair.
Oh, I was going to say the worst part was the white guy with the afro.
Oh, it was. Oh,
kind of had like a
cute.
Was it Horshack had that hair for a while?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's very Leo Sayer.
Yeah, you're thinking of Art Garfunkel.
Yeah, that too. Garfunkel definitely had it. Hair that has stuff living in it is what you feel. But you're like, it's probably super clean, like Kenny G.
I don't know if I thought that.
I mean, like Kenny G's hair probably smells good.
Maybe
but it looks gross.
But I didn't think that Slim Goodbody's hair had. I was not a fan.
Yeah.
In any regard.
Carrot Top?
His hair looks clean though.
Carrot Top. I don't even look at Carrot. I don't know.
I didn't even look at him.
Do you think
you're gonna have to show me some examples. I haven't examined Carrot Top.
He's on a future episode of Fatal Attractions because he had this chimp that stayed with him and groomed him, picked stuff out of his hair and off his back and ate it.
Yeah,
they'd share steroids. One day
that came back to bite him. Didn't it?
It really did.
Yeah.
He had to fight him off one of his prop tennis rackets.
Yep.
He almost didn't survive.
Unfortunately, prop test breakers made out of bananas.
And that's when I noticed my next big mistake.
So Carrot Top's always prepared for a fight, huh?
Yeah, he's always ready. He has all those props. He has a gun rack that's full of like, I don't know, stuff that doesn't belong in a gun rack.
It's one of those practical fights like in Kill Bill with the bride and and Daryl Hannah.
What if you had to
Just
like
using what's around you?
We should do a Carrot Top escape room that's like it's Carrot Top's mansion, and you have to like because nothing is what
Figure
it
out how to
seems
use all the
to
props.
be. Yeah, you have to figure
Escape
out
from Carrot Top Mansion.
Yeah, escape from Carrot Top mansion.
That's not believable because
My favorite CD-ROM game.
I mean, do we actually believe
play
that
on the
Carrot Top lives in a
486.
mansion?
He does. Like Carrot Top has done well for himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a nice place in Vegas.
It's more like Escape from Carrot Top's townhouse or something.
You wouldn't need. I think he's got a lot more than you think, Andy. You know, like you have to take a bath with a toaster, which in the real world you're like that's a bad idea. But in the Carrot Top world, it's just this big bubbling bath bomb.
Yep.
Once you put it in there, you're so relaxed you can figure out the next puzzle. But you got to plug it in first.
This episode is full of ideas. We're just throwing out left and right.
Like a Shark Tank episode.
Man, Shark Tank.
Anyway, super deep. So you're not? Are you?
I like I like the horror effects.
Yeah.
But most of the movie involves them dealing with the Russian army people. It's like, go in there, get my stuff, get the samples. Like, no.
No, it's like you didn't really match its budget, which is like too much talking and too much running around.
It's more of like a procedure. It's a lot of procedural stuff as opposed to actual horror.
I kind of like procedurals.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay,
Right.
okay, I'm interested, but I am guarded because of your review.
And it's also a bunch of people making horrible decisions.
Oh yeah.
Even though in the face of obvious danger, like we gotta get them samples.
Samples.
I don't know why I used the country
I really
voice
hope those Russian
for a
people
Russian
sound
movie.
like that. We gotta give them samples.
That would
Did they dub them with like hillbillies from?
They got
the
Duck
hills?
Dynasty.
It was
to dub.
So I have the clip Amy asked for from the
Okay.
Art Bell show. This is from back in 1998. If you don't know what Art Bell, it was called Coast to Coast AM. Awesome show.
PM, I think. Or was it AM?
It was because it was on the AM dial.
AM, yeah.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
Coast to Coast AM, yeah.
But it aired in the PM.
It did.
Yeah.
Figure
so,
that one out.
So this clip is from that show.
Well, listen, one more thing about that 9-mile hole drill.
Yes.
Now, look, I think that it's kind of silly. Maybe I'm not a geologist, and maybe it would be to your advantage to maybe contact, talk to listeners and see if any geologists are out there. But in my opinion, if you drilled 9 miles down and you came to a pocket that was 2,000 degrees,
Yes.
you're talking about molten rock.
Virtually, no.
And aren't you going to create like a volcano? I mean,
You are asking me questions that I can't possibly answer.
Well, I mean, I know that when they drill it for oil and they hit the pocket of oil,
Yes.
it shoots those drill bits right up out of that hole.
Oh, it does.
And the oil follows it.
I know.
Under so much pressure.
That's correct.
Now, what I'm thinking is...
But they didn't mention in this story pressure. They mentioned a horrid little being that came flying out. Then they mentioned the drill bit turning wildly, and they mentioned a high temperature. But they didn't mention pressure.
But they also mentioned that they lowered a microphone into it.
That's right.
Okay. It's a pretty long extension cord. But anyhow...
Not unreasonable. I mean, it could be done.
Okay, but now I'm thinking there's going to be...
And maybe, and one other thing, sir. Who says they lowered the microphone to the final depth? They may have just lowered it. In other words, they were hearing sounds, right?
Yeah.
And so they may have lowered it just low enough to get the sounds.
Okay, and granted, I mean...
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. And which is one reason I enjoy your show.
You've got to admit what you heard. If you did hear it earlier, did you?
Yes, I did.
Pretty awful.
Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of special effects on TV.
No, he'll play it again, I'm sure.
I don't deny it. It could be.
It could be, and I'm willing to accept, either way.
All right. Look, I appreciate the call. Let me, for the sake of the audience that joined since midnight, I'm not going to read the full article about the 9 Mile hole. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to read the email that I got last night, along with what I received. This horrendous sound. Now, I've got a clean copy of it now, and I warn you, this could scare you. Here's the email. Dear Art Bell, I just recently began listening to your radio show and could not believe it when you talked about the sounds from hell tonight. My uncle had told me this story a couple of years ago, and I didn't believe him. Like one of your listeners who discounted the story as nothing more than just a religious newspaper fabricated account. The story about the digging of the hole and the hearing of the sounds from hell is very real. It did occur in Siberia. My uncle collected videos and audio tapes and so forth on the paranormal, supernatural. He passed away fairly recently, but he would have loved your show. He let me listen to one of the audio tapes that he had on the sounds from hell in Siberia, and I copied it. He received his copy from a friend who worked at the BBC.
We're about to hear incontrovertible
It took me a
evidence.
while to find it tonight, but attached is that sound from my uncle's tapes.
Now that's what I call
It's not
sounds
the
from
greatest
hell.
quality, but the sounds are there.
Kids about sounds
I
from
was very hesitant to send you this, as the sound bothers me to listen to. I'd suggest that if you do play it on the program, warn listeners in advance so they may have the option of turning the radio off for 30 seconds while it plays. It has always haunted me. To those who discounted the Siberia sounds from Hell
play the
story,
goddamn play.
it is true, and I, for one, wish it wasn't. Rick, listening from Chicago. And so I submit now the cleaned, a better copy to you, and I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
Edging us, aren't they?
That's it. I'll let you come to your own conclusions, as I usually do.
I do have one.
Yeah,
was that terrifying? It sounded like a soccer match.
Let me just know, when you're listening to Art Bell 3 a.m.
Yes.
That's pretty fucking creepy.
No, I get it. I get why it's
creepy.
creepy. I would drive around and listen to his show at night, like after we worked at Blockbuster, and we didn't close the store until midnight, and then we had to clean up and all that stuff. So then I'd get in my car and I'd drive around, listen to Art Bell until I felt like going home. And those sorts of stories, that one in particular, would have probably made me jump right out of my skin if I were by myself out on
It's
the
also
back
weird because you
roads.
drive around trying to kill people.
That too. It's extra creepy because I'm a killer, and I'm on the prowl, and you are prey.
Ooh, what scares
This
a killer?
clip is going to be played later on an episode of some true crime show. Listen to the killer's own words. I'm a killer.
I'm a killer. I kill people. That's what I do.
Freddy has never killed anyone. Not
But,
even
but
one.
like three,
Only with
listen to that-
kindness.
Listening to that at like 2, 3 in the morning, it really does freak you out, though.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was
Yeah.
unnerved by it, even though I don't think it's real.
It was chilling. It's good storytelling.
Yes.
The thing about Art Bell is he could frame the most absurd shit. He would lull you into that like kind of hypnotic state where you just are like, tell me a story.
We had a lot of
Keep going.
gravitas, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Although obviously when you listen to this old clip, like it's literally a friend of a friend of a friend, like most everything on that show was, but
and that person obviously made that clip.
But it has so much value as entertainment.
It does. It's
And
great.
It really, and what if? And there's always that chance, what if it's real?
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
How'd he get the tape out of Siberia?
His
uncle.
He smuggled it in his butt.
It's a butt tape.
It's a butt tape. You couldn't hear it. That's why it's the brown sound.
But how can we guarantee his butt did not contaminate the sounds?
That's how Eddie Van Halen got the brown sound.
Yeah.
Every album before it would go out, and he would put it up Art Bell's butt.
I mean, I have in the back of my head some little weird ideas about what's at the center of the earth, and this is just kind of fun to indulge in. Even
Morlocks.
though
The science. Trust the science.
I don't really believe there's people down there, but why not? There could be. I don't know.
I think it's a creamy center.
What if we are just a giant Ferrero Rocher hurtling through space?
What if we're just a gusher that hasn't gushed yet?
Oh.
Well, we're just a penis.
We're just a penis.
We're just a big penis.
It's a big round penis.
Big round penis.
It's a fun thing to indulge
I'm a
in.
little black lady and
Here-
a little big round penis.
I'll put this out to the listeners too, like any fictional version, like stories, novels that I could read that are kind of talk about the center of the earth. I didn't know there's Journey to the Center of the Earth. But like other than that, that could be a fun horror novel or sci-fi novel.
Yeah.
Well, in the 60s, I remember these bunch of cheap paperbacks, but they're about how like Nazis went to the center of the earth in Antarctica and had bases there, and they're replanning a Fourth Reich or whatever. So there you go.
That's fun. That's like, have you seen Iron Sky?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the same concept, but the Nazis went to the moon.
We really
That just sounds whimsical.
In our creative endeavors, we really thought highly of the Nazis.
Yeah.
in movies and in books.
It's because we thought that at the time, the threat of them was their technology. It always felt like they were ahead of us.
To be fair, though, they were the master race.
That's what
there you go.
Well, and they actually, I mean, they were interested in weird mystical things, and that makes for good movie making.
Yeah,
to have a group of people who, first of all, should be universally hated.
Yeah, should be.
And secondly, really thought maybe they could do mystical shit. It's like
they had real mad
villains.
scientists.
Yeah.
They didn't have the ethics, so they just did stuff.
Yeah.
So that is good fodder.
Pop Rocks and Pepsi came right out of that shit.
And we have the Nazis to thank for that.
One of the most diabolical experiments Nazis ever did was. One of the most diabolical experiments Nazis ever did was when they cut a potato in half and put it in water.
Remember when they tried to destroy Chicago with a clay volcano with baking soda and vinegar? Those damn Nazis.
Bunch of jerks. So, Andy, you do not recommend Superdeep.
They won first prize in the science fair, though.
They did get first prize in the science fair. And that's why you teach your kids Common Core.
Yep.
I recommend fast forwarding to the scary Bart.
Okay.
Parts. I said Barts.
Scary Bart.
Scary
do you
parts.
have a time codes for us?
Yeah, you're going to need to give us some time codes, like a list.
I'm going to warn you. Mm-hmm. I feel like I should warn you. It's super deep. And I'm going to play it for you.
Look, I
think I should warn you.
I'm not a geologist or a director, but
is it super
I'm just
deep
asking
or
questions.
the super deep?
I think it's just super deep.
Go super
Because on the
deep.
trailer it said the super deep.
Well, everything is mixed up.
Why do I
in this
just
crazy world?
It's go straight to porn, that title.
What?
It's so titillating.
I know. It's okay. It's
It is
just
so
'cause you're
titillating.
a horny little weirdo.
It's super titillating.
Is that a turn on? Just a deep
deep vagina?
a deep butthole or a vagina?
No, it's more about going super deep.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
It's more about how big your dick is because
I prefer something that's very shallow.
Oh, like The Shallows.
Yeah.
All right.
A porn movie called The Shallows.
Let's see who's gonna.
It's a shallow holes only, people. It didn't make the cut. My hole's too deep.
Are we adding Lewis to this too?
Yeah, you might as well if you're down, Lewis.
All right, give me.
Yeah,
give me
it
a
just
minute.
depends on where I get the movie from. But go ahead.
It'll always. Yeah, we'll make sure you.
It'll
can
be
get
easy.
Here's a fun story.
I can do Netflix, Amazon, or Spreadbox.
Spreadbox?
I've never heard of such a thing.
It's adult movies.
Is that a Pornhub
Shredbox?
competitor?
Is that just like Yngwie Malmsteen and Joe Satriani movies?
I'm going to go down to the Spreadbox and pick up the latest Jenna Jameson.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope they disinfect those DVDs.
Oh, yeah, they're sticky. They're always sticky.
It's a Spreadbox exclusive.
This is because of the maple beagles people eat while they're watching the movies.
It's half of the machine gives you maple bagels, and the other half is adult films.
Maintenance of the machines is constant because
sweet maple bugles.
It's jammed up so much.
It's not a great business model. They went out of business pretty quickly. They only made $11 across the country.
Yeah, there was some guy who was real disappointed because he was fucking the bagels.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you never can keep a good thing going.
Well, bagels go stale pretty easily, so it needs to be constantly restocked.
Yeah, have you tried our new tighter maple bagel from Spreadbox?
A tight bagel?
You should try our bagel spreads, Spreadbox bagel spreads for your maple bagels.
All right.
With tighter holes.
It's brown.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass around the Jack in the Box who's
hand it to me.
Who's
hand it to somebody.
Ruined for next week.
Give it to me.
All right. I'm gonna start with Lewis. I'm gonna hand you this.
She's really
Jack in the
shuffling that
Box
shit
via the internet. Oh shit.
Oh, interesting.
I did this randomly, sir.
Oh, well,
You
thank
lost.
goodness it wasn't me.
That's me.
That's you. So, the movie you're going to watch, I just frantically tried to find something on Netflix because I totally forgot.
Oh.
It's called Blood Red Sky.
Oh.
Okay.
In this film, when a group of terrorists hijacks an overnight transatlantic flight, a mysteriously ill woman must unleash a monstrous secret to protect her young son.
Oh.
Blood Red Sky. It's on Netflix. Oh, damn. It's 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Is she a good guy with a gun?
You say 2 hours and 3 minutes. Okay.
I hope that her secret is she loves sex.
Damn, I hope that too.
And she fucks them all till they get to the next destination.
That's something monstrous for her son to say.
It.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody wants to see their mother do that. Okay.
I gotta go.
So it's called Blood Red Sky.
Somebody
Blood Red
does.
Sky. It's on
Go make that Bischoff money so you can get more of those cookies from the flight attendant.
Oh, yeah.
These things are good. Okay,
They
anyways.
are fucking good. I like flying Delta for that reason, but usually Frontier it's got that better price for me flying out of CVG.
Can't say them too. Airline peanuts always taste better than regular peanuts at the store.
It's true, and also the same with baseball game peanuts.
They're probably coated in
Baseball
sugar.
game peanuts. That was my
You know
baseball
what?
game food. I'll probably never go to a baseball game again, but
Everything was my baseball game food. Nachos,
I want to
peanuts.
say this too. Also, at a baseball game, the hot dogs are better.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
Yeah.
you know what? Nachos served in an upside down ball cap, those are better.
oh,
They're good. I
agreed.
like them wet.
Wet
I like
nachos?
I like them with so much nacho cheese and jalapeno
Yeah.
Where it gets all
juice.
flipped, it
Well,
gets
that's
all
just
floppy
that's
and-
just
and soaked. Yeah.
nachos Bel Grande. It's just soaked.
Yeah, but there's the ball game nachos that
Yeah.
radioactive orange cheese.
No, I get you. And the jalapenos, the slices.
Their jalapenos
All right.
are so good.
Okay.
Anywho,
You know what's not good at ballpark though? Barbecue sandwiches.
yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, you want to stick with your traditional hot dog, pretzel, maple bagel, or
Exactly.
Burger, a brat
nachos
or a met.
or a brat.
Your maple beagles.
Your maple bugles.
Maple bugles.
If you want to get one of those little malts that are in a little cup with a wooden spoon, or a Coors Light.
Peanuts.
Do they serve the maple
Of
bugles
course,
in a baseball cap?
Coors Light.
you know Mexicans have the micheladas. In Canada, they got the bugles. They pour the beer on.
They serve you like champagne and little maple bugles.
Fresh bugles,
Classy.
sir? Just say when.
He's grinding bugles onto your salad. Can you hand me the bagel grinder?
All right, we're moving on.
Oh yeah, did I say bagel? I meant bugle.
Bugle.
This is getting out of hand.
We're moving on to our main attraction now.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. you
Damn
know.
it.
Hey, have some fun. Let's have a party.
I'm so
Anyhow.
hungry though.
Yeah.
I saw the file. Rogue federal agent. Ruled by a sense of destiny. Machete. I know what they did to your family.
coming after us.
I will testify.
Of peace. We lost Louis. And now you want me to help you kill all these men?
Yes, Padre.
I'll see what I can do.
Machete, it's Robert Rodriguez. Robert Rodriguez is one of my favorite directors of all time. Desperado, From Dusk Till Dawn, which I believe we did for Dusk Till Dawn here one year. Machete is kind of his almost attempt to do a actual Mexican superhero, because you're not going to, like in DC or Marvel, the Mexican superheroes are usually, they die within the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Right.
And so this is about Danny Trejo, who is an awesome person, but
agree.
He plays a federale who his wife and child are killed by Steven Seagal at the very beginning.
Playing himself.
I didn't know about Steven Seagal.
What was up with that hair?
I didn't know the camera was on.
It looked like Eddie Munster who grew up or something.
Like his hairline, it's like, dude, we can see you're wearing a piece or your plugs were just aligned a little too
I
nicely.
think it's kind of like works here, because he's supposed to be playing just a trashy
but
cartel.
And he was hilarious.
It looked like he did that Voto Peel spray in hairspray in a can.
Yeah.
Like so the credits roll. Then we find Machete. He's a day laborer in Austin, Texas, and he at the same time there's Robert De Niro as a congressman.
Yeah.
State senator.
Don Johnson go out and shoot undocumented citizens for fun.
Right.
Yeah, they really underscore that these are bad people because they shoot a pregnant woman.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was funny watching his political ad. It didn't seem that much of a parody nowadays.
Honestly,
that's what we had the discussion.
It was hard to watch. Wow, this is a little too precious.
That's what Alise was like. This is almost like when people talk about Idiocracy, where like you would think like, oh, this is very over the top, and then now it's like this isn't that far fetched actually at all.
Well, because it was like, the past 20 years or so, I mean, sure, people had a problem with undocumented citizens, but then when Trump came into power, it became vocal. It became, very out front.
Yeah.
To where like, these are people that are evil. They're killing us. They're hurting us,
They're causing us to all get COVID now, according to what's his name.
Exactly. So, I really feel like this movie, in many ways, is pretty like Andy said, prescient.
Yes.
Well, it was released during the Obama years, and we thought, a black president, everything's fine now.
Well,
but it was just bubbling under the surface.
What's so funny about this movie is that it is a parody. Everything's bumped up to 11. This archetype is this is the villain, but like this is gonna be crazy. Yeah. But what's fucking insane is that it's not
that crazy.
You didn't inflate this character up. These are real.
Right.
This is real.
It's like you realize there is no level that you can inflate characters to that we aren't getting to see for real.
And there's a great moment too in the third act with De Niro's character where, and I'm sure we'll talk about that at length, but kind of where he drops that facade because even he's not real.
Yeah.
He's really just a New Yorker who was manipulating everybody, which he was Trump. I mean, he is literally exactly Donald Trump. Yeah. He's a New Yorker.
He's too smart to be.
Who saw that there was the opportunity with a bunch of angry people to get their votes.
Yeah. And he doesn't care about anybody else but himself.
Yeah.
Right.
When he was his back against the wall, he turned his back on the people that were helping him. Which what Trump would do nowadays too.
Trump would do it in a heartbeat.
So the credits, episode of opening credits, you find him. He's a day laborer in Austin, Texas. He comes across Michelle Rodriguez as Shay, who is, I try not to make these type of assumptions, but she's gorgeous in this movie.
This is
agreed.
She looked amazing in this movie.
Yeah. And so she's she operates a taco truck, but turns out she's the head of the network, which helps Mexicans, come over to America and everything. Mm-hmm. And so Machete is hired by Jeff Fahey to kill.
Again, playing himself.
Yeah. He did great in this movie.
He did.
Robert Rodriguez gets great stuff out of Jeff Fahey.
He does.
To kill the senator, and right when he's about to shoot the senator, he looks over and he sees Jeff Fahey's assistant pointing a gun at him.
Great actor too, Shea.
Shea Wiggum.
Wiggum, thank you.
So he shoots the senator, then he shoots Machete, or vice versa, and Machete's taken to the hospital. And that's kind of the scene where the movie really takes off, because you have Machete, you got the crazy babysitter twins, which
they were
I know
so
personally.
Great. Yeah, you and Andy.
Looking back on, I feel bad making fun of them.
It was funny though. It was really, really funny. That's one of my favorite bits you guys ever did.
And plus, I can't do the voice anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
But it was a time capsule.
Yeah.
So that should be the next found footage, whatever it is you do.
The origins.
Yeah. And so Machete, he's in the hospital. He sees Shea Wiggum and his group of assassins show up. He goes crazy, fucking takes a bunch of blades and slings them around.
Fucking awesome. That was so awesome.
And,
wait, before you get, there's one moment that I really love is when Machete looks at the blades, and the guy who works in the hospital goes, "Oh, you don't want anything to do with those. They'll cut through flesh like warm butter." And he's like, "You don't want any part of that." There's this great joke. It's a running joke kind of with that guy where he's like, "Oh, that's real dangerous. You don't want to do anything like that." And then Machete will just be like, "Well, that's perfect. That's exactly what I need."
And I feel the movie really reaches its over the top status. The scene where Machete cuts the guy open and then takes his guts.
Oh, that was amazing.
And flies out the window to the next.
He uses the guts as a rope.
Well, because he heard earlier, like, is there really 60 feet of intestine?
Yeah, they're talking about
it. It comes back.
Yeah. That's so great.
It's great structuring.
That whole scene really sets the tone for the movie for how over the top it's going to get.
But I liked how I thought the whole movie was going to be this, but there was only a couple over the top bits, to me at least.
What?
It's pretty over the top, but it is a great mix of.
It wasn't overkill of over the top stuff.
Yeah,
it wasn't constant.
It served the story. Whenever something like that happened, it really did. It wasn't just to do an absurd scene.
Yeah. I thought the whole movie was going to be absurd scenes, but
the over the top. What I mean isn't just the action scenes. I mean, talk about the machismo of Machete, the machismo of Steven Seagal. I mean, these are very real men. The whole Machete doesn't text. You know, it takes their manhood to like 11. Like you say.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal has my favorite line in the whole movie, and it's after Machete has shoved a machete through his body, and he looks and he goes, "I could very easily kill you right now. This isn't shit." And it's just like, I couldn't stop laughing.
I was the same. I laughed so hard I was in tears at that. More so this time than the first.
At the beginning too, when he rescues the woman, she's naked.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Lindsay Lohan, her and her mother have a three-way with them. And it's just like, oh, he's the gardener.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you, I love how uncomfortable Danny Trejo looked in those scenes.
He was all of us. I was uncomfortable with him making out with Lindsay Lohan.
He was just like,
and her mother.
when they kiss, they're just like pressing their faces together, and then he's like, when he's laid down in bed, Danny Trejo is he's a small.
Right, well, he's like, I'm a very old man, and
yeah, he's a small guy too, which is it's funny to see him like laid on the bed with these women around him, like because he's like, this is not exactly what I'm
old
feeling
enough
a little
to be their
weird.
grandfather.
I could be your grandpa, yeah. But
that's also too where the machismo comes in. That I was talking about.
Yeah,
you can have an old man be like a young 20-something virile guy.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
That's the whole basis of machismo. And so I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and honestly, the cast is great. I mean, Jessica Alba and Michelle Rodriguez are a great duo.
Oh yeah.
Steven Seagal is a great foil, as is Robert De Niro. But Danny Trejo, I mean, he may be a short guy, but he in this movie, he seems like he's 10 feet
He's intimidating.
tall.
No, we talked about that
his
too.
Talent.
Yeah.
His talent is I had an uncle, he passed away. But Danny Trejo reminds me so much of my Uncle Brent. It's unreal sometimes. Like he was also a short guy. But he was just like Machete. He was this tough guy.
Had a lot of presence.
Yeah, and he would he wore like a do-rag, and he sold pot, and like he always had a gun with him, and he was missing half of his foot from an accident that happened when he worked on an oil rig, and his eye was held up with a pin because his head was crushed with weights in the prison gym. And I met Danny Trejo at Horror Hound and started talking to him, and I'm like, it's like having my uncle back, like it felt so familiar. But he was also that guy that had this huge presence and was so tough in my imagination. And it's the same with Danny Trejo. It's like, he is the real deal. He's been through some real shit, and it comes through. It doesn't matter that he's not this huge physical presence.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody's interested, I really recommend this book that just came out called Trejo.
Oh yeah,
My Life of Crime, Redemption of Hollywood by Danny Trejo, co-written with Donald Logue, by the way.
Oh really?
Oh, no.
But it's a really great biography of his life, and if you want to know more about him and movies and everything. But if you're just more interested in tacos, I suggest Trejo's Tacos, the book.
Yeah,
it's a good book, so you can also eat.
Is that recipes?
I've done a bunch of them from here. They're so good.
I'm into it.
I had his beer.
Freddie had his beer recently, and it was very good.
It's actually really good.
Trejo Cerveza?
Yeah, I killed it off, and they were big cans, and I was like, I got to have another one.
Well, it's just, I mean, he really is one of those actors that lived what he talked, what he does in movies, he actually lived.
Right.
And you can't really say that with too many action stars.
Yeah.
Anymore,
No, definitely not.
No.
I think he kind of earns his place really in our hearts.
Yeah. I do. I have genuine love for the guy.
He's a great dude.
Yeah.
Well, like you brought up like the machismo was over the top, but not really, because he's so charismatic that it does make sense that he can bag all these really hot women. Because I was like, at points I was like, damn, he
can beat up every man.
Yeah. Oh, he can do it.
He can nail every chick. He can do what he wants because he is dude personified.
Yeah. He's kind of he's like Shaft in that way.
But it just seems so natural to him that it doesn't seem like acting.
When this movie came out, it earned a lot of hate from far right people, right-wing people, because number one, they hate to see a Latino in a lead, action role like this, But also, I mean, he's like, he's leading. Everybody's putting their knives, their machetes above their head, leading them. I mean, his ex immigration officer, Jessica Alba, she leaves to help him. I mean, there's a Mexican guerrilla leader in the form of She, and even though it says he's independent, everybody knows that Robert De Niro is a fucking Republican.
Yeah.
So. I mean, to actually make a small movie like this, done on a small budget. It was a very small budget. It was done originally as a trailer for Grindhouse.
Right.
And it became popular enough to make a movie. It was a small movie. A lot of it was done on green screens and in just locations in Austin, Texas. To actually make a movie with that much power to piss people off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why I think Robert Rodriguez he's kind of a genius.
I agree. What's great about it is it's still like, even though there are like real, kind of parody moments, or like we said, there are some very comedic moments. There still is, it's still saying something, and it's still, not only is it saying something, about racism along the border, but it's also telling a really good story. Like, it manages to be all things kind of at once. It really is a brilliant. Like, I was so excited. I didn't realize.
Yeah, the story's pretty epic.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much I was going to like this. I knew I would like it, but like this is like a great movie.
It is.
I thought at first when I was watching it, I'm like, this is a little surfacey. Maybe they're not serving the point they want to make by this type of movie. But then I realized, who gives a fuck? One, you don't have to be doing emotional labor for all the white people out in the world, when you're making a movie like this. Have some fucking fun with it.
Right.
And the characters aren't perfect. They are willing to murder to get what they want. Like even the good guys.
Honestly, this movie is borderline musical without the music.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, it's that level of grand, especially when he activates the network.
Yeah.
Which I love that moment throughout the movie.
I do too.
Yeah, you've met all these individual quirky characters, and it turns out that the neighborhood is really, that's where, and I love that message, that really it is power to the people type of message there. And they're like, you know what? You just got, when you get fed up, all you got to do is organize.
Yeah. Well, Amy said, like, you said, at times it could be surfacey, but there were times when I was like actually kind of choked up and really moved by it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
At the end, like when they were,
you can't help it because they are referencing the real struggle
like
that
when they were
undocumented people experience.
When they were approaching the stronghold, the white people stronghold, rolling up in their cars and
in their
motorcycles.
hydraulics.
I thought it was just a nice celebration of their culture.
Yeah.
Well,
they were armed up in their own way, which is like I feel like a lot of white people's fears that they're gonna have a revolution, and at the end when they're all raised up their machetes and declaring victory, I thought that was really moving.
Well, a second ago when Amy said that emotional labor for white people, I'm sure, Andy, you've seen movies where you probably have felt like that, where it's like they have to have the one white character, along with the ethnic character in order to, so the white audiences will go see it, and make the white person the hero. I like the fact that this movie made the white people the bad guys.
Yeah, it didn't apologize for anything.
Yeah, it didn't apologize for it. Yeah, I feel Robert Rodriguez in a lot of ways does not make movies for but he does not make movies for white people.
Right.
Yeah. I guess technically Battle Angel Alita, that was a big budget thing he did.
What about Spy
with
Kids?
James Cameron.
Is that for?
I mean, Spy Kids is pretty much. It's.
I've never seen it. I don't know.
They're great.
Spy Kids is very Latino. I mean, Antonio Banderas. I mean, the kids are. Dan Trejo.
I don't know.
The first time Machete appeared was in Spy Kids.
Uncle Machete.
Uncle Machete.
Yeah. Yep.
But I mean, Robert Rodriguez makes no apologies.
Yeah.
In this film, he doesn't, and it's great. And it's great to have someone that you can root for the same way that Spider-Man or something,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
so
there was a sequel. At the end, it says, Machete returns and Machete kills, and Machete kills again at the very end. They made one sequel. They made Machete Kills, and it's. If you thought that this was crazy, I mean, Machete Kills is insane. That movie is literally insane because it's where Machete has to track down a drug lord who's got a time bomb in his heart.
Yeah.
and like Sofia Vergara plays the head of this brothel of lady assassins.
Oh man, we need to watch this.
Yeah,
that sounds hot.
And then at the very end, he goes to space. And Elon Musk is the head of the space commission to help him.
Are you serious? Elon Musk for reals in the movie?
Yeah. You see him doing that to Machetes. He's walking onto the spaceship.
Oh my god!
And the bad guy in the movie is Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a little too on the nose.
Well, I think Robert Rodriguez kind of he's one of those guys that's not afraid to cast controversial people.
Yeah.
Because they serve his point and they serve the project. And I think that's true of people like Craig Zoller and Quentin Tarantino and a lot of these guys.
But I would rather him not cast somebody that says, "I hope you get raped by a pack of N-words."
Well,
when you see the movie, you see how it plays out.
Yeah.
As much as I disagree with Mel Gibson, but I mean, he really does give Mel Gibson as good as the way Mel Gibson gets.
Yeah.
So, but I love this movie. I think it was great. It was a pretty big hit when it came out. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, I highly recommend this movie. I mean, and like I said, especially for Latino Heritage Month, Latinx Heritage Month, it really is a movie about not just about the movie itself, but kind of almost Robert Rodriguez's story.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to make movies. He made El Mariachi for $7,000. He funded it mostly by doing experiments at the University of Texas. Where they paid him for experiments. Blood and stuff.
Right.
For $7,000, he went to Mexico and made El Mariachi.
I love that footage of him, like when they'd made their Steadicam and their dollies out of wheelchairs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was really neat.
And I mean, it's the thing just grown, and this is a great movie. It's a wonderful movie. I mean, it's fun. It's got everything. It's got chicks. It's got motorcycle. I mean, it's just got everything that a good movie should have.
It was amazing. I agree.
It's it kind of reminded me. Robert Rodriguez kind of works with the same group of actors.
Yeah.
It's like his version of like what Seth Rogen does.
Mm-hmm.
With all the same stable of actors, and it's a very indulgent movie. We're indulging and having fun. This movie wasn't gonna change the world. We were just gonna have fun with it.
That's how you change the world, for real, though.
You know what?
You have fun. You sneak your shit in with the fun.
Shit.
It's a spoonful of maple bugle to help the medicine go down. Medicine goes super deep.
Down. That one chick that was like fully naked and then pulled a cell phone out of her pussy.
That was amazing. That was an amazing moment.
The noises that
I was
you heard?
watching it on,
that's what it would sound
with the
like.
subtitles, and it subtitled the sounds. It said squelching noises.
We were watching that Blake 7, and the subtitle said gentle, curious music.
Then later it was intense, curious music.
Yeah.
I'm intensely curious.
Things ramped up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scene, I was just like, what? What? What
It's
am I
also
watching?
fun to see old-timey cell phones again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Blackberries.
What do you mean? Like,
I would not put an iPhone in my pussy. Sorry.
I thought it was kind of funny too, though, the way that they're in that old car, the Mexican Federales car at the beginning.
Yeah,
they have that video phone on the get back here, machete.
Yeah.
It's little thing like that. It's like little things that throw in like that, and the way he just picks up a big huge machine gun and puts on his motorcycle.
Yeah, I love
stuff
that.
like that. It just works.
Yeah, and that whole sequence is awesome with the machine gun mounted to the motorcycle. But the oh shit, where'd my brain go?
While you're remembering,
okay.
Do you guys remember us having a conversation about being weed whacked to death? Who were we talking to? Was it at the meetup?
Was it the Origins? It was
Origins Topicana.
Topicana.
Topicana. Our last Topicana.
Because the nightmare you had of Superman killing.
And we were talking about, could you get weed whacked to death? Wouldn't that be silly? But then that happens in this movie.
Well, okay.
He doesn't get killed, but
I mean, he's
being the gardener.
It's funny because he goes in as a gardener, and the guard's like, you ever wonder why we just let in gardeners?
A Mexican guy with a
And at first he weed whacks everybody. Then he comes back a little bit later and he has razors on the weed whacker and starts chopping people up. I
love that the gag that continues with that one henchman who he continually is like outsmarting. But this is the bartender always lives moment for this movie, I think, where you remember when Cheech Marin and Mariachi's like the bartender always lives.
Yeah.
Like this movie, the moment is the garden. Why do we always let the gardeners in? Like, you know, didn't he say a Mexican guy with a tool or something?
Yeah, a chainsaw or
they could bring anything in. Which I always think that kind of dovetails into our horror hound, like who has a real weapon with him conversation we were having.
Well, that part too. Also, it's got a great cameo by Cheech Marin as his brother.
Oh, that's such a great.
And then a great cameo by Tom Savini.
Yes.
Yeah.
As the bounty hunter.
Yeah. So entertaining.
He was playing himself in that.
Well, Tom Savini, he's
an interesting character too.
He does kind of carry like that with him everywhere he goes. That kind of that bike. That I don't even know how to describe Savini's style, biker-esque.
It's his own, and that's all
it's
that
just
matters.
Savini.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like in Front of Soldano, he plays the same character.
Yeah.
He has no real range. You see him at the horror hound. He's like that.
He's just that guy. Yeah.
He's that guy.
But Andy did say something. I do want to apologize to the crazy babysitter twins. Or if either of you like to go out on a date or something, I'll be happy to pay.
Well, the moment when the babysitter twins pick up the Uzis is super sexy.
There's something about ladies with guns. I don't want to be one of those.
And
guys,
nurses, little nurses.
You're wearing
uniforms.
heels.
It all works.
Short skirt and a gun. Shit.
It was sexy as hell.
I don't want to be one
It'd
of
look
those.
good on you.
It probably would. Me and Kelley come out of the back of the ambulance with Uzis.
I guarantee
In
you
little
that would be
skirts and
amazing.
heels.
You couldn't handle it. Oof, be almost too much.
I mean,
It's funny 'cause at the end of that movie, it's almost like all the characters from the movie that you've grown to accustomed to come together.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
because they all go to the Don Johnson stronghold. His where all the white dudes with guns and the white supremacist kind of areas, and they just fucking like Machete just fucking chops them up. I mean, people are shooting guns. It really is. It's like 5 minutes long, but it's a great 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's super.
Of fictional retribution,
Yeah.
And it's also like this is like not a cool reference and not a cool comparison I'm about to make, but it's valid, I think. It's like that Les Miserables scene where they finally come that they build to the revolution moment, because when they put the call out and the types of regular people that come to it, that kind of thing always kind of stirs me. Like when it's the dishwashers who come to fight the battle. I think that sort of thing. I don't know if it's because like my dad was drafted in Vietnam, like that idea of poor people fighting the wars.
Yeah, like you saw all the Mexican people come in and they're carrying their gardening tools as weapons, and the guy with the ice cream, the popsicle cart at the end.
Yeah,
that was I thought it was a nice touch.
Yeah, the regular stuff, regular
I guess
people.
you could say in a lot of ways Machete is the Mexican Les Miserables.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Danny Trejo's Jean Valjean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know the
Jean
references
Valjean.
because I don't care.
Juan Valjean.
Juan Valjean.
Juan Valjean.
Juan Valjean.
We won 1-1.
We won 1-1.
One is what we won.
One is what we won.
I love that. I gotta watch Machete Kills.
Yes, you do.
For real.
But
Thank you, Louis.
As far as this movie goes, I just love this movie. It's great. I mean, it has everything I want personally in a film.
Yeah, agreed.
I think it's a movie you could jump in at any moment, and have
Yeah.
fun with it. You don't need to watch it all the way through. Just jump in wherever.
You
It's
find
a
it
fun
on TV
part.
one day.
This was just like joy.
Do people do that
like
anymore?
this was like joy watching with also like a good conscience,
Yeah.
and it hit all my sweet spots for sure.
It hit all of your movie pleasure zones.
It did. It hit my erogenous areas cinematically.
Did you also appreciate kind of the stunt casting of Lindsay Lohan? I felt was really interesting. It put a stamp on this movie for when it was released. Like it's indelibly marked with Lindsay Lohan. And
was that a body double of her in the
pool?
In the pool?
Oh no, that was her. But
was it? Because her whole time her hair was obscuring her face.
I thought it might have been a body double in the pool.
I heard she did that for real, but I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm no Lohan expert.
It's all Mr. Skin.
Yeah.
But it was cool that she had a sense of humor about her own life and playing a character that was basically her.
I just like when they're hustling her out to the car and it's clearly the stunt
Well,
double.
it's funny because at the end she becomes like a nun.
Yeah.
And like shoots the Robert De Niro on the head.
Yeah, because he killed her father.
Yeah. So I mean, he's like, you could totally have a spin-off movie with her, even.
Yeah,
it was almost like they were setting it up, or at least the option to potentially do that.
There's at least 5 characters in this movie where you could have spin-off movies with.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, are we ever going to get Machete kills again? Do we know?
It's been talked about, and he talked about recently as a couple of months ago about how he wants to get this trilogy done. I don't know. You can't ever tell anymore. I mean, COVID fucked a lot of things up.
Yeah.
So who knows?
And Danny Trejo, I'm not sure how old he is now.
Very.
But
he's like in his 70s.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with very.
But to be fair, so is Arnold Schwarzenegger. So is Sylvester Stallone. So is Jackie Chan.
So is fucking Patrick Stewart. He's still got some Picard to make. So.
That generation got to eat good food growing up.
He is 77 years old. Good golly, Miss Molly.
Who, Danny Trejo, 77?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because he's always like the same.
He is Robert Rodriguez.
Our neighbor John
cousin.
is of that same cut of that same material, I think.
Yeah.
He's also just
he's 82.
An 82-year-old tough guy.
There's a point for a lot of Mexicans where they stop aging.
Yeah.
Like literally, I've looked like this since about 35. With,
like a silver fox.
So, I mean, he's literally looked like that since about 40.
Yeah.
It's true.
So, more power to him.
Yeah. He owns it. He's got.
I mean, you believe in Sofia Vergara is like 50.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but
she
then
looks like 30.
She's got access to all the best skincare, but it's largely genetics. I don't know what I'm talking about. Science, baby, and I believe in science. In this house, we believe in.
Michelle Rodriguez is 94 years old.
At least.
Oh, when she came back with that eye patch on,
she looked great.
Hot.
All right. So thank you. That is we're done here with that.
So I take it everyone liked it?
Well, fuck yeah, man.
Love.
Okay, good.
It's a shit ton of fun.
Totally into it. 100% do again.
I'll definitely watch it again.
What's your Yelp review?
I'm so glad because I don't know that I would have just revisited this movie on my own.
Right.
And I had only seen it when it came out in the theater, and it didn't stick to my ribs the way it did this time. I feel like it's aged really well.
Yeah.
Well, I think
in spite of everything,
it's enhanced by the reality we are living in.
It's like now more than ever.
Yeah.
In these trying times, we need Machete.
We do. No, we do need Danny Trejo. We need him. He is a good person.
Yes, he does.
I mean, honestly, Danny Trejo probably is my favorite actor.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's in a lot of shitty movies, but he always makes a shitty movie better.
Yeah.
Because
he always adds a bit of gravitas to the shitty movie.
He also treats those people with respect.
He makes great.
Yeah, he treats those low-budget filmmakers with respect that some actors don't.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just a job, even though, yes, he works constantly. But he also is like, I'm going to do the best job for this person, just like I did the job for Robert Rodriguez. I'll do this for this guy from Indiana that nobody knows that's making a low-budget movie, you know?
And, one of my, before COVID started, I saved up a couple of $1,000, so I was going to go to the Joshua Tree and spend a week.
Yeah.
And one of my plans was to go to one day is to drive down to LA to go to Trejo's Tacos and Trejo's Donuts just to try them,
Yeah.
I haven't been able to because of COVID, but, and I was going to go to the Texas Frightmare because he was going to be there and I had guest pass and everything. Then COVID happened, they canceled. So it's like, the only celebrity I would ever really like to meet anymore is Danny Trejo, just to tell him thank you, for creating this mythology that we very rarely get to see with the actors anymore.
It is so old school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the way that we used to think of Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the 80s when we were kids.
Exactly.
Yeah. But then we grew up and we saw what kind of shit they pulled, But Danny Trejo has managed to keep himself as a good guy. He did all shit. We learned about that within the story of redemption that made him even more powerful. He, and he's so open with a lot of his stuff that it really makes it hard not to love the guy.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking.
He's wonderful. I'm gonna get that book. I have it queued up already for my.
When you're done with Obama's book.
Well, I have to finish. Yeah, Promised Land is
Freddy's reading Obama's book.
huge. It's so big. I had to switch to the audiobook just to cover up the territory I couldn't cover at home reading it.
Man, it's our first black president.
We probably pissed off so many of your right-wing listeners.
Again, they wouldn't have stuck around this long.
It's so fascinating, by the way. If you get a chance, check his book out. Especially him. He reads the audiobook. It's like 30 hours, but you want to know what it's like in the White House just on a regular day. He gets into that. It's really cool.
That would be really cool.
Does he talk about like how is like do they have a bidet in the
He hasn't
Oval
gotten to
Office?
that yet, but
Turlet?
you're going to hear things that you will be surprised you'll hear
triple
coming out of his
ply?
mouth.
Triple ply?
I would love to hear Danny Trejo read that book.
To read the president's book.
Read the president's book.
And then Barack Obama could read Danny Trejo's book.
Aww.
That'd be great.
When they asked me to play Machete.
Okay, so at the end of every show, we always say hi to our Beelzebubs. I'm going to do that now.
Do it.
Hello, Alise.
See you in a minute, baby.
Hello, Amanda. Hi, Ernie. Hey, Mark Watts.
Hi.
Hi, Bill Farner. Hi, Blake Heath.
You're like, hey, Bill Farner. Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, Jeremy, Cassie, and Gamora.
See you guys soon.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, my gosh. What's up, Jeffel?
Oh, Jeremy just had a birthday recently, too. So
Happy birthday, Jeremy.
Happy belated birthday. I'm sorry I missed that.
You monster.
And hi, Jeffel. Hi, Iona Goodwin.
Oh, and a great one.
Thank you.
It's top notch. It's a rolls can hardly.
Hello to my Branan and my Emily.
Hi.
What's up, Bill Chandler, everybody?
Thanks for being on High Five Happy Hour.
If you're a patron, you have access to High Five Happy Hour we just did with Bill. And hey, Blayne. Hi, Monica. We're going to give you the pick for October since you missed your pick last month.
Yeah, it's Halloween TV specials.
I will be in touch. Hope you're feeling better. Hey, Paul. How you doing?
My Paul, I give you all, no keys. From Halloween.
Hey, Brian.
Casey and the Sunshine Man.
Guten Tag, Alyssa. It's the only hello I could think of, and I know we're doing Latinx Heritage Month right now, and I couldn't think of
Hola.
Hola.
Amy.
I took German in high school. It's still okay.
You just can't help yourself.
Is it really though?
Hola, Dave.
There you go. You said it right.
Guten Morgen, Carla.
Guten Morgen, Carla. What's French or Italian?
Well, ciao.
Oh, hi. Aloha, Dustin.
And Ace.
An Ace. And
He's a good boy.
what's a hello?
Good day, because she's
Good day, Lynn.
she's Australian.
Good day.
What's Australian for hello?
Good day.
Foster's.
It's Australian for beer.
And hello.
What's Australian for teddy bears? Couple of teddy
Koala.
bears.
All right, Louis, thank you so much. Of course, he'll be back next week. Ooh, you got to watch the Roulette movie, you little son of a gun.
Oh my god.
So we're definitely coming back next week or a week after.
Is next week Horror Hound?
Next week is not Horror Hound, so
It's
next week.
Next week we're
Okay,
here.
it's next week.
And then
Okay.
we'll skip the week after because it's Horror Hound
And
weekend, and then
Next week, by the way, is my birthday. So.
fuck yeah.
Hey.
We'll
right.
party. We'll eat cake on your behalf.
Yeah. Will that be
I
fun?
would say cake.
Louis, tell people where to find you if they want to. They do.
You can find me at twitter.com/Louis Fowler, facebook.com/Louis Fowler, and instagram.com/Louis Fowler 78.
78.
And you can read my work every day at thelostdouble.com.
Yes.
You won't regret it. It's very entertaining, no
Agreed.
matter what he writes about.
And their
So
governor
did-
has tit in his name, and it's very funny.
It's very funny. It
He's a
also
tit.
rhymes with shit too.
Yeah.
So,
He's a real shit tit.
so what did you decide on what you want to do for next week?
I don't know. What are we going to do?
I'll
It's
just
up to you,
do them in the
isn't it?
order you gave them to us.
Yeah.
So next week we're gonna do
Oh, he's left the room. So we're gonna do "Fuck You, I'm Leaving." Is
Yeah.
that the name of that?
next week we're doing Pelo Suelto by Gloria Trevi. It's a musical. It's not really horror, but it's got like a lot of. It's got child endangerment and child kidnapping.
That's horrific.
All right. That's comedically horrific.
I can't wait.
I can't wait.
It's also a musical.
Uh-oh, Amy.
I know.
I have to make sure I get my hands on. I don't know if that's one I got to order, but we'll get on it.
We'll get it. Don't worry.
Okay, and but it's a great movie. It's one of my favorite musicals. It's a lot of her pop music that was popular at the time. She's a very popular artist in Mexico.
I've heard of her. I don't know why.
And she has quite the history. That's insane.
Ooh,
so
Wikipedia.
Can't wait. Hey, Louis, stick around for just a second.
Okay.